What's going on, guys? Last night's WWE Monday Night Raw, June 23rd, 2014. WWE Monday Night Raw's go-home show with Money in the Bank this Sunday on pay-per-view. So Raw, pretty much the show began with Stephanie McMahon punishing Vickie Guerrero for her actions last week, placing Roman Reigns in the Money in the Bank qualifying battle royal, in which he was successful. And just Stephanie McMahon just pretty much just crushed Vickie Guerrero, telling her that she's going to be fired unless she goes in a match with her. She then made her beg, got on her knees, and stuff like that. But then finally, it was made official for later in the night, Vickie Guerrero versus Stephanie McMahon in an actual match. But the actual first match of the night was Harper defeated Jimmy Uso, as Harper pinned Uso with the clothesline. And then after the match, both the tag team partners, Jey Uso, went up against Erick Rowan. These four men will go in a tag team match for the tag team gold Sunday at Money in the Bank. Now, stay tuned in the next couple days. We'll be giving you my full predictions on the pay-per-view. But Jey Uso did defeat Erick Rowan with a splash. But after the match, the tag teams fought outside the ring, and then Harper and Erick Rowan gained the advantage. They stood tall with the belts, and JBL actually said, "Get used to this because they are going to be the new tag team champions." Now, it was a pretty reasonable sight to see. I mean, they would probably be great tag team champions, but I think they just need a new entrance theme. They came out to a new one last night. It was like they got the whole world in their hands in like a instrumental form. I wasn't too fond of it, but I mean, Harper and Erick Rowan would actually make great tag team champions. They looked good after they attacked Usos and held up the belts, so it'll be interesting to see, but definitely stay tuned for Money in the Bank predictions. Rusev and Lana did some sightseeing sort of thing, Washington, D.C., just pretty much just making fun of the United States, making fun of the presidents, the government, and so forth, and just praising Russia. So nothing out of the ordinary there. Naomi defeated Alicia Fox in a pretty solid and long Divas match. Paige and Cameron were both on commentary. Naomi did win. There was a lot of bickering between Paige and Cameron. Paige was actually praising Naomi more than her tag team partner Cameron because of that whole thing last week on Main Event, the Funkadactyls fighting. And but nonetheless, Naomi defeated Alicia Fox after the match in a pretty fair set of stance between Paige and Naomi. Paige held up the belt. They shook each other's hands because this Sunday at Money in the Bank, it will be Paige versus Naomi for the Divas Championship match, in which will be a pretty solid Divas match. Now, right now, I am not too sure who my pick will be, so once again, stay tuned the next couple days for Money in the Bank predictions. Bo Dallas defeated Big Titus O'Neil in a quick match with the Bo Dog. After the match, Bo Dallas just said, "Titus O'Neil, you just got to get up off your horse like he did on Smackdown and just keep on pushing." Triple H then announced the remaining competitors for the #1 Contenders Money in the Bank briefcase match, where Seth Rollins was already confirmed on SmackDown. Now, the winner will win the traditional Money in the Bank briefcase where they could cash in, and the other participants were Rob Van Dam, Kofi Kingston, Bad News Barrett, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, and later announced will be Dean Ambrose, in which I will talk about very shortly. But also talking about very shortly, Bad News Barrett and Dolph Ziggler, they're stealing the show match. But Seth Rollins defeated Rob Van Dam after Triple H announced everyone in the match. Rollins had the match won. But before I say how he did win, or what the finalization of the match, I just want to say Seth Rollins and Rob Van Dam put on put on such a great match. Last week on Raw, it was Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler, and that match stole the show. And this week, it was Seth Rollins versus Rob Van Dam. Not the best match of the night, but I mean, probably the second best match. Seth Rollins, once again, amazing. Rob Van Dam as well, so kudos to Rob Van Dam. But Seth Rollins, I'm telling you, this whole storyline with him breaking out of the Shield is great. Seth Rollins being able to show some great things he wasn't necessarily able to completely show in the Shield. Don't get me wrong, he showed some great moments in the Shield, but standing out as a singles competitor, he's showing even more. But back to the match. Rollins had the match won, but Dean Ambrose ran in and attacked, giving Rollins the disqualification victory. After the match, Dean Ambrose pretty much beat the hell out of Rollins, and Rollins ran away. And then Ambrose got on the mic. Whenever Ambrose gets on the mic, I just get pumped because Ambrose is just an amazing star. Ambrose is just a killer on the mic, amazing in the ring, just an all-out individual talent in WWE. But Ambrose, after the match, grabbed the mic and demanded to be put in the Money in the Briefcase match, the Money in the Bank briefcase match. And even if he wasn't in it, he's just going to show up, screw Rollins, screw up the whole pay-per-view, get the briefcase, and just walk out. So I thought that was pretty good. But then backstage, Triple H was like, or Seth Rollins was like, I need Ambrose in that match. As weird as it sounds, he needs him in that match because he wants to have his eyes on Ambrose with him in the match, knowing that Ambrose isn't just going to appear out of the crowd, attack him, and cost him the match. So it is official now. Dean Ambrose is in the Money in the Bank briefcase match, joining Seth Rollins, Rob Van Dam, Kofi Kingston, Bad News Barrett, Dolph Ziggler, and Jack Swagger. But as I mentioned, once again, stay tuned a little bit later in the week for the full predictions on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Next up, we had Bad News Barrett versus Dolph Ziggler in an Intercontinental Championship match where Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett, won with the bullhammer elbow. But don't get me wrong, this was definitely the match of the night. The show was stolen with this. Dolph Ziggler always stealing the show every single week. Now, it seems like WWE is getting less mad at him because he's not pretty much jobbing out to Rusev, as was going to be said. Hopefully you guys don't hear this wind in the audio in the background. Pretty windy out today, recording outside. But nonetheless, Dolph Ziggler and Bad News Barrett stole the show. Barrett's been amazing lately, Ziggler's been amazing, and I'm pretty much digging this feud. Hopefully we see this feud for weeks to come. Ziggler, Intercontinental Champion. It's possible. Bad News Barrett, the title reign continues. Great match. So both these men are going to be in the Money in the Bank traditional briefcase match. So this will be amazing. All the men exciting in the ring. Ambrose, Rollins, Ziggler, Barrett. This is just going to be amazing. But Dolph Ziggler and Bad News Barrett, easily match of the night, as both the men stole the show. Stephanie McMahon versus Vickie Guerrero, which I talked about earlier in the night, didn't quite happen. Stephanie revealed a kiddie pool, which looked to be filled with like some chocolate pudding or something, and she then brought out Layla, Rosa Mendez, and Alicia Fox to toss Vickie in the pool. Vickie just tossed each one of them, Layla, Rosa, and Alicia, into the pool themselves. Then Stephanie attacked her from behind and threw Vickie into the pool, and then fired her, as Stephanie McMahon awkwardly and brilliantly actually tried to sing like a na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye chant. It's hard to say and not kind of sing it kind of thing, but Vickie Guerrero did turn it around and attacked her and tossed Stephanie in the pool. So a change of scenery there, and then Vickie Guerrero did the Eddie Guerrero shoulder shimmy on the stage. Classic Eddie Guerrero. So Vickie Guerrero was fired from WWE. Go back and watch a couple previous videos on this channel, the reason why Vickie Guerrero was fired. But there's great plans in store for Vickie's future, so if you are a Vickie fan, make sure to stay up to date with her on Twitter and so forth. Two competitors in the Money in the Bank briefcase match, Jack Swagger and Kofi Kingston. Jack Swagger defeated Kofi with the Patriot Lock, so just pretty much hyping up the Money in the Bank traditional match there. Damian Sandow was dressed as Abraham Lincoln. Big E won instantly with the big ending, so Big E defeated Sandow, and then after the match, Big E called out Rusev, and Rusev put Big E in the accolade and pretty much just destroyed him. So this may or may not be a match for Money in the Bank, Rusev versus Big E, but we will see, and I will keep you updated on that. Main event, John Cena, Sheamus, Roman Reigns defeated Alberto Del Rio, Bray Wyatt, Cesaro, and Randy Orton. Now this was all 7 men who will be in the World Heavyweight Championship briefcase match. So Sheamus bro kicked Cesaro to win the match. So pretty solid match between all 7 men that are going to be in this World Heavyweight Championship ladder match. Then it was announced that Kane, yes, Kane, ladies and gentlemen, would be added to the match. I don't get why, but nonetheless, Kane has been added.